The Exorcism at the Abandoned Convent. My name is Father Michael, and throughout my life I've faced many challenges as an exorcist in the Catholic Church. However, one particular case still haunts my dreams and my faith. The story I'm about to tell is real and took place in an abandoned convent in the countryside of France. It was an autumn night, with the dark, cloudy sky casting a heavy atmosphere over the landscape. I received an urgent phone call from the local bishop, requesting my immediate presence at the Convent of Saint Agnes. He informed me that a nun had been possessed by a demonic entity, and the events occurring there defied any rational explanation. When I arrived at the convent, an oppressive feeling seemed to envelop the entire place. Twisted trees surrounded the building, their shadows dancing ominously under the dim moonlight. As I approached the main entrance, the wind whispered unintelligible words in my ears, as if the trees and nature itself were warning me of what was to come. I was greeted by the bishop and a small group of people who had already gathered in the convent's chapel. They appeared frightened, anxious, and desperate for a solution. The possessed nun, Sister Agatha, was tied to a carved wooden chair, her face contorted in pure agony. Her words were obscene and blasphemous, and her body contorted supernaturally. I took my position in front of Sister Agatha, holding the crucifix in my hands and holy water within reach. The first thing I noticed was the foul odor that hung in the air, as if the very scent of sin was present. Sister Agatha stared at me with empty eyes, and then a guttural, supernatural voice escaped her lips. "Father Michael," she snarled, her voice filled with contempt. "You cannot cast me out. I am part of this place now." I knew the exorcism would be a grueling battle, but I was determined to confront the evil that had taken hold of the nun. I began reciting the sacred words designed to weaken the demonic entity residing in Sister Agatha. As I did, the environment around us grew even more sinister. The candles lighting the chapel began to flicker erratically, and a cold wind seemed to murmur dark secrets. The nun let out a piercing scream, and in a moment of pure violence she broke free from her restraints. Her eyes glowed with a demonic intensity and her mouth curled into a malevolent smile. "You are weak, Father," she spat out the words. "This place belongs to us now. You cannot stop us." I continued with the exorcism, reciting prayers and sprinkling holy water as Sister Agatha struggled and blasphemed. The spiritual battle unfolded for hours, and the darkness around us seemed to close in like a prison. It was then that I realized I wasn't just fighting the demon inhabiting the nun, but also the malevolent influence that permeated the convent itself. This place, once a site of devotion and worship, had become a haven for darkness. In a final effort, I recited the last words of the exorcism, invoking the name of God with power and authority. Sister Agatha convulsed and let out a shrill cry, and the demonic entity that possessed her retreated from her body, leaving her in a state of profound weakness. Silence fell upon the chapel, and the oppressive atmosphere that had previously surrounded us seemed to dissipate. Sister Agatha was free, but the cost of the battle had been high. She was pale and weak, her memory hazy about the events that had consumed her. The bishop took her to a safe place, where she would receive the care and support she needed. As I left the convent that night, I thanked God for giving me the strength to face the evil I had witnessed. However, the Convent of Saint Agnes would continue to be a place of mystery and darkness, a reminder that evil can take root in the most sacred of places. This story is a reminder that evil can hide in the darkest shadows and defy human understanding. As an exorcist, my faith was tested and my determination strengthened, but the price we pay for confronting evil is something we carry with us forever.